now a story about the birds and the bees. But don't worry, parents, the kids can stay in the room for this one.
These are the birds. And these are the bees. Admittedly more bees than you'd like to run into, but quite a few less than were around a few months ago. 1/3 of Arizona's bee population has been killed because of the use of a restricted pesticide on cotton. The pesticide did the job against cotton bollworms, but it also decimated the state's bee population.
Finally, we're going to be annihilated, completely wiped out of business. And the government won't do anything to try to help us find an insecticide they can put on this to kill these bollworms with and help the beekeepers if you want.
Dead bees are of course a problem for beekeepers, but they also could affect the price of food next year.
The consumer ultimately pays for everything. We know that. You and I pay for everything that goes wrong or goes right, whatever. And it can't help but make the bees a little more scarce. Now, if the bees become more scarce in an agricultural belt, then pollination does go down. If pollination goes down, the per acreage product goes down also, and consequently the price goes up.
So what can be done about it? Probably not much. The same situation took place 10 years ago when a new strain of pesticide was introduced. At that time, half the bees in the state were killed. But until some solution is found, keepers like Charlie Campy see their work as a no-win proposition.
There's not much you can do. As long as the crop duster's going to fly, we're going to die.
Jim Ryerson, KOOL News 10.
When grocery shopping, you've probably noticed the date on certain packages. It's called a pull date, and it tells you when an item should be removed from the shelf. It's found most commonly on meats, dairy products, cereal items, and other perishable goods. Pull dating was started to help consumers, but does it really? Stores and manufacturers are not required to label products with an expiration date. And furthermore, products or items that have passed that pull date may still be offered for sale if they are clearly marked as such and sold at a reduced price. In shopping, we found packages of drink mix being sold beyond the expiration date and not at a lower price. We checked with the Department of Weights and Measures and found that this does not violate current regulations.
We only have the authority to remove items that have a shelf life of 60 days or less on perishable or semi-perishable products.
It seems rather foolish to have an expiration date if it can't be enforced.
Yes, I agree with you there.
Stronger regulations are being considered, but until they're in effect, make sure next time you're buying groceries that you look for the pull date. If the item is beyond the expiration date, report it to the store manager as well as to the Department of Weights and Measures. Monica Lee, KOOL News 10.
Robert and Patsy Bewley admit their guilt for having expired out-of-state license plates on their car, but now the Bewleys say they're very upset about what happened to them. Last week, Mrs. Bewley was given this citation by a Scottsdale policeman for violating vehicle registration laws. But the policeman also confiscated the license plates. When Mrs. Bewley went to purchase her Arizona plates yesterday, she says she went through another hassle for not having her old plates to turn in.
I am very disgusted with the Scottsdale police. I could have, went down and got my plates and been out of there in a little while, but I had to go and hunt up a notary and pay out $1, which isn't much, but it still was $1 I had to pay out of my pocket. If I'd had my plates, I wouldn't have had to have.
I talked to the Phoenix Police Department, and they told me that they never, ever done anything like that. They most generally give you a ticket. My wife had talked to the Highway Patrol, and they said they'd never done anything like that before. And I talked to Mesa Police Department, and they looked up the code on it and what the penalty was, and it's a misdemeanor for running with expired license, but they said that it looked to me like that the police officer made a grave mistake.
The Scottsdale policeman who confiscated the Bewleys' plates refused to comment on it, but other Scottsdale officers said plates are usually taken when there is reason to believe the plates are fictitious. There is no written policy on confiscation of license plates, they said. It's a discretionary matter among the policemen. Meanwhile, the Bewleys are trying to decide whether to fight the citation so that others won't get their license plates confiscated. And Patsy Bewley is bothered by something else. She's been driving for 27 years and has never been given a traffic ticket until now. Mike Ara, KOOL News 10.
In either 30 or 60 days from now, this man won't be able to smoke his pipe or a cigar aboard any U.S. commercial airliner. And the Civil Aeronautics Board is proposing a ban on cigarettes as well. But that will face months of public hearings before final adoption.
So I would have to say I'm pleased about the cigar and pipe smoking, but I can't say that I'm really excited about the cigarette smoking from the passenger's standpoint. That would be kind of rough.
It could obviously become a problem if all smoking were banned. Long distance travel, people who do desire to smoke are going to, of course, object to it.
You think this might hurt your business?
It could to some effect, but I don't see it as a great effect on the business now.
Portions of boarding areas are now set aside for non-smokers, and the airlines are required to provide a non-smoker seat for those who want it. And that's sometimes a problem if the passenger load is heavy. No pipes, no cigars, and maybe no cigarettes draws mixed feelings from air travelers.
I think it can be done.
Would you object to it?
No, not at all.
Why?
Well, it's just a bad habit.
Would that stop you from taking an airline to someplace?
Oh, no. No, that wouldn't bother me at all. If I want to fly somewhere, I'm going to fly whether I smoke a pipe or not.
Great.
I would consider it a great help to people who don't smoke.
Well, I can see pipe and cigars, but cigarettes, they shouldn't take that away from us.
Why?
I'd fly, but I could chew tobacco.
Betty Carnes of Arizonans concerned about smoking calls the CAB ruling the way of the future, and she thinks an all-out smoking ban on airplanes is inevitable. Then she'd like to see it extended to pilots and air traffic controllers. Dennis Johnson, KOOL News 10.
This is the kind of activity to warm the hearts of a store manager, and it will increase tonight. Right after Thanksgiving, the store managers were hoping for an 8 to 12% increase over last year's volume. And it looks like that has been borne out.
Although not all stores depend upon large Christmas sales volumes to level out their year's profits, it is an important time of year for everyone.
The first couple of weeks after Thanksgiving, we were a bit concerned, but the last 10 days, it's been going very well. Most of the shops are quite happy. The department stores are well ahead of last year.
As a matter of fact, many stores are predicting their best December in history. The optimism in the economy felt by store owners right after Thanksgiving is turning out to be justified.
Well, the last couple of years have been rather unsteady as far as the local economy is concerned, but during the last 6 months, construction activities picked up, and retail sales are really a barometer of the other economic activity in town, construction services and what have you. So I think with the increased confidence that the consumer has, it's reflected in increased retail sales.
Some shopping mall and department store owners are puzzled by the volume of shoppers this Christmas. Most have planned for the shopping populations of the 1990s. The stores are full now. That isn't necessarily bad, but as one department store manager said, it keeps us on the edges of our chairs. Roger Gadley, KOOL News 10.
Not by a long shot, according to the Arizona Hotel and Motel Association. The association says that even during the peak months of the last tourist season, there was an average 22% in vacancies at resorts and about 15% at medium-sized motels. This year, there are an additional 1,000 new hotel rooms to fill. More promotion of the Valley, according to the association's vice president, Gene James, is needed to fill up more rooms, particularly at the medium-sized hotels.
That the small motel, the 100-room motel, in the middle price bracket will have the greatest difficulty.
Hotel owner Bernie Levine is more concerned about tourists thinking there will be no rooms available in the Phoenix area. He agrees that more promotion is the key to more business.
We've got to increase our basic tourism promotion and not rely as heavily as we have been on strictly the convention-type business, because the conventions do not provide the business that is needed to fill the small and medium properties.
However, even without promotion, Valley Hotel and Motel operators have a couple more aces in the hole. Lower prices here than at other winter vacation spots, and the fact that last year's hard winter hit vacationers where it wasn't supposed to, in Florida. Mike Era, KOOL News 10.
This is the first run of data out of the new program, and this information could help make the parking lots in the metropolitan area emptier, make the skies cleaner, and help reduce the cost of everybody's commuting.
The computer program had gaps. It allowed matching passengers and drivers at only one end of the ride. Everything else had to be done by hand. Now, with the system provided last month by the federal government, people can be matched at either end and along their whole route.
So it's increased the number of people that they have a chance to ride with.
Much more efficient operation, much more chance of a matchup.
Much more. Also, it reduces the manpower required so that the people we do have can spend their time promoting carpooling and getting more people interested in it.
She said complaints that computer matches aren't good arrangements will be less frequent. Carpooling now has a better chance of success with the 20 to 25% increase in the efficiency of the program. One carpooling official from the Department of Transportation said the success of the whole program depends upon the number of people involved. If you tried it before and were disappointed, try it again. You may be pleasantly surprised. Roger Gadley, KOOL News 10.
It looks like something Q gave to James Bond in The Spy Who Loved Me. But for $800 to $1,000, you too could build your own one-man submarine. And that's just part of what Dave Carey and Bob Riley do. Several years ago, they submitted a project to a mechanical magazine. Now, do-it-yourself projects like the submarine and others is a full-time business.
Well, we do primarily conceptualizing and design work of various vehicles that and supply plans to the major magazines. And through that, they can buy the plans and build their own crafts.
The person who likes to tinker or is just into adult toys can write away for plans to this electric car. The price is $2,000. This super trike is a future item, and so is a solar device for the home.
Percentages show probably 1 to 5% of the people who buy plans actually build the item.
They've also designed a gas-powered runabout for $2,000 and 55 miles per gallon. And now that they have conquered land and sea, what about the air? Well, don't worry, they intend to make plans for a do-it-yourself airplane as well. Dennis Johnson, KOOL News 10.